Hey everyone, welcome back for another week and another episode of Stacking Solo. Here with me, your host Justin. Appreciate you guys coming back. Appreciate you, showing the channel some love here in the past few weeks, and hopefully we continue it through. And hopefully I can show you guys some pieces that one you probably have, but maybe a piece or two that you don't, and we can start some discussions in the comments or something. Let me know what you got, and we'll just keep building from here. So episode 4, this week I'm going to build off of the past few. We've talked about junk silver, generic silver. Let's go into premium silver. Talk about what is premium silver, go over some pieces. What is the, I guess, the variety or the difference between types of premiums, types of silvers, and makes and all that jazz. So yeah, we'll just get right into it as always. So, what is premium silver? Premium is pretty much just the added value to any piece, whether it's silver, gold, whatever. Whenever you're playing or paying premium, and you just got to know you're paying added value, but that added value is for a number of reasons. So a lot of the times you'll find that it has added value for multiple reasons. And so it could be the rarity, meaning the number of mintage. Could be the design itself. Maybe it's a specific year and the country or the mint that is designing it hasn't really done a whole lot, or is making sure that it's a limited number of run to keep that premium value up on that specific coin. Some of them can be colorized, so if you get colorized in them, that automatically adds a little bit of value. Whenever it comes to grading, you can get signatures, so that increases your value from the grade, from the signature, depending on the person that it is, depending on the grading company. A lot of different aspects that kind of add to that premium value there. And then my favorite thing about a lot of these coins, and why I really started getting into the type of bullion that I'm in now, is that it's also legal currency, and it's that's cool to me. I like to know that kind of in more than one way I'm backing myself with an asset, physical money, and then also the value of the bullion that's within each piece. So yeah, bunch of reasons, a bunch of things that can really add to a premium or make a piece a premium piece. And why do people buy them? For exactly those reasons: the rarity and the value of them. It's just it's the same as anybody that goes after any specific thing. So on the side, I collect Batman. Don't know why, but I'll go after very specific Batman pieces just because. Some of them is the value, but a lot of them is just the design, and something just appeals to me. And it's the same way for premium pieces. They appeal to people, but then also that security of holding that extra value, knowing that if I got to dump a little bit, I've got a little bit more room to make profit, or at least to gain as much money off of it as I can. So, yeah. And then I guess moving on from there, is it worth it? Is premium worth it? In my opinion, yes. A lot of what I buy now and have bought in the past year or so has been pretty much premium pieces, specific pieces that have collector's value in multiple areas. But for me, just kind of speak to me, and it can be anything from regular currency to just a piece of silver to a pour to some really cool art type of pieces, one of which we'll kind of go into and show the funness that bullion is in the 21st century. um, so yeah, we can just get right into it, and we'll just run down the list. I'll kind of give you guys an idea, show you everything that we've got, and then we'll just run down them. I maybe give the value, or at least the value attributed last time that I had checked for these pieces, and see what you guys think. Let me know if you guys like any of them, if any of them appeal to you, or if you have any of these in your collection yourself. So let's check it out. So this right here, as you guys can see, I kind of got a variety of premium pieces, quote unquote, the things that add premium value, and they kind of vary in a large variety. And I kind of did this on purpose just to show everywhere that the premium value can be added and where exactly you can expect to see it, and what maybe what kind of premium you could expect to see on some certain prices and pieces. So we've got everything from your ASEs to your specific. These are series ran coins. Your Geigers, which are just known everywhere. The world loves them. I love them. Very sought after, very high quality. Got a couple editions of pours that we'll go over, talk about the weight of each and maybe the value you can find. And then we've got a special piece here. This is one of many that I have similar to this, or in a style that I consider an art form. It holds a lot of premium value for multiple reasons, and we'll obviously go through that. But yeah, this right here is what we have for today, and then here we'll get into it piece by piece. So right here, we're just starting off right at the top with the pretty basic. One of my favorites, something I collect a lot of, the ASE, the American Silver Eagle. This started being minted in 1986. I'll go over the history of this coin and everything whenever I get into country rounds and a couple sections about ASE specifically, because as I said, I do enjoy them and have quite a lot. So I'd love to discuss those. But just in general, so ASEs, I've got two designs here. Just for everybody to know, there's two things that you can know about. So we have a 2013 on this side and a 2023 on this side. Uh, Two basic things: Type 1, Type 2. We've got your landing eagle, and then we have the heraldic eagle. That is just known pretty much as a shield. It's everywhere. Everybody knows this. But this is Series 1 and Series 2 right here. Um, ASC. The design is the same on the front. Now, in recent years, they have different special editions. You can have ones that have the star privy. They have different privies on them. And the privy mark is basically just another, the same as an individual star. It's basically just a design mark that lets you know that it's a special piece. It's more rare usually whenever they have them. I'll do specific episodes about privy marks and go over a few on just over some different countries and kind of show some examples, and maybe we can see what the value is. But more so, if anybody likes any of them, or I don't know, give me your thoughts on them. But back to the ASEs here. So as I said, very common. They're the American coin now, with the Morgans and the peace dollars being minted yet again. This is not the sole American currency or bullion coin, but it is the primary one still. Very sought after. Now, in terms of price, we're talking premium. So what's the premium? Crazy enough, silver hit over 37 an ounce today. Crazy to me. It's insane. But with that being, I'm going off of what I know it to be and what I've known it to be here previously. So the premium on this stuff, it varies a lot. ASEs vary so much that it's really not even funny. So if you let's say you're buying from a dealer that has a tube and you're buying from an auction, you buy one straight out of the tube. That one at the tube is probably the best price that you're going to get one for. You could probably buy that one for $38, so a dollar or two over spot, which is great. That's what you want. And then you can get into average price. I would say though, if you're just going to buy one offline, you're probably going to get it for about $42 to $44. I would assume. 42 would be about my average, just because that's what I know. I've seen a lot of them for, and I've watched them sell for. But buying them out of tube is usually the best. And then you can buy them straight from the mint. And if you buy them from the mint and you get the box, usually straight from the mint when they're released, you're paying about $90 a piece. And obviously, if you get a different design, so if you have, um, if your face is anything else, then it just increases in price depending on the quality and the type of coin that you have. But for the most part, you got your base, which is 38 out of a tube, straight new. You can go up to 42 to about 45, 44 for just independently from a wholesaler, reseller, or a retailer, and then 90 from the mint for straight out of the box with the little COA or whatever, the little card that comes with it telling you all about it. And then that one's more of a presentation piece, obviously. So the premium on this, really, it varies, but for the most part, it's not too high on these. Not until you start adding the extra value, whether it be graded, whether it be uh, special editions, or anything like that. But for these just basic ASEs, you're looking at a pretty flat, just a couple dollars above spot. Nothing too crazy for these. Beautiful coins and definitely worth getting because, yet again, they are backed by the American government, and we are. Though tensions are high, we are still very much trusted, and we definitely have some of the best bullion that in terms of quality that you can ask for. So very nice, very nice. Moving on over here. So this one right here is a fun little one. I got started getting into these whenever I started buying premium rounds specifically for trying to get a variety of designs. So this one right here, I'm going to show you this side, and then obviously you can see this side. Um, so this is the Asgard round, and this is the Mythical City series, I believe it is called. And there's a whole line of them. The reason why I had specifically bought this one with Odin on there and Asgard in the background, huge Marvel fan, huge comic fan, and so I could just tie it into my nerdness for those as well as my nerdness for coins. Just overall gave me more of a reason to purchase it. But looking at it there, you guys can see that that is extremely good relief in terms of the design. What they have, the detail is absolutely incredible in my opinion. I just you cannot for just a regular round that's not not backed by a country. You can understand why there's going to be premium value because the time and the detail that's into this. That's exactly why the premium's added to it. So these right here, I would say that you could probably find these for anywhere from actually a pretty similar price. Resell, you could probably pick them up for $30 to $40. New, you could probably buy them for anywhere from about, I'd say probably about 45 would be a good price for buying them brand new, Um, if you, I don't know if you can find them now. I guess I have had this one for a while, but I would assume so because they're not too crazy. But just a great design, beautiful design. Came out just a few years ago. And I was just excited to show it to you because I figured, you know what? Yeah, it's definitely a premium piece, but not one that has a lot of extra value. Even with that, could appeal to a lot of people for a number of reasons. So, Odin and the Asgard Mythical City series round, a great one to look out for. And if you're into that stuff, write that down. Check that one out. So this next one that I'm actually going to bring into is a very similar uh, design in terms of not really being backed by anybody, but is a series coined. Um, so this is the Eric the Blood Axe round. Um, Very similar, as I just said. Looks great. This is another series. I had a couple of these coins with the different characters on them. I do not anymore, or I cannot find them. So I do apologize. I would have liked to have went over all the names with you guys, but I just don't have it. Even though it is still a premium round for the same thing. It great design, great impression, beautiful detail. It doesn't have any milking, any discoloration, so it's staying in really good condition for being a couple years old still. So that means that the minting was probably very little flaws within it. And I don't know. This one doesn't hold too much of a premium. It's just a cool design, so I figured I'd throw it in here just to show today. I would say you probably pick this one up for around the same price, $38 to $42. Um, just a little bit above, you're paying a little bit of a premium on it, but not too much. And it's not government backed, so you don't have that little extra security with it. But the design is there, and that's really why people collect these. And if you just have a whole line, or if you have the whole series and you're able to line them up, I'm sure that it is just absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Um, so yeah, those two together, I'll just show them side by side. You can understand the detail between the two and in the two, and why they both definitely hold a premium value compared to such coins as the Buffalo Round or anything like that. Um, Moving on over, this one's going to be a little less. I am very excited to show these. So these right here are obviously just a pour. Why am I including pours? Because pours hold the highest premium that I have seen for just about anything, honestly. In any weight class, fours just they sell, and they seem to sell ridiculously well. This is an axe that you can see very well detailed. I had bought this, I believe this is around 8 grams total. I bought this for probably $15 to $18. Retail for it right now, or retail, even though there's not pour, I would say is right around 25 is what people have been paying for this type of stuff for the 8 to 12 gram pours, which obviously with silver going up, that's probably going to change, but you can get into them with the different designs. And that's why they hold the value, is because one, you can touch them, you can play with them. Your fingers aren't going to milk them. It's not going to ruin the bullion itself. Uh, you can show them. You can do everything with them. You can handle them, and that's really the best thing about these, is that it's a piece of art, but at the same time, it's kind of a toy, and it makes sense. Just a little backstory, or for anybody that doesn't know, even though most people probably already do. I have a whole line of these pours pretty much that I've picked up over time. But basically, these are actually just toys. They start out as toys. What they'll do is they'll take a little toy, uh, weapons like these, guns, or have you, and put them in some sand or some other filler, make an impression, and then they'll actually pour into the impression that they had made, and then that's how they are able to get these wonderful details. And depending on the materials that it is that you're using to pour in, and the impression that you're able to get off of your original object, really increases the details of this, but also it increases the premium value that you can pay on it. So instead of paying $1 a gram, you're going to get your $2 or $3 a gram, and maybe even upwards of that, depending on what it is. What I like about it is that a lot of them are usually trying to get it to focus right there on the edge, though. Right on the back of this, they have it stamped 3/9 fine, just so you can know. Now, I do have the written COAs with that came with each of these pieces in my other pours, but for display purposes, I just keep those put away. And I keep these in a floating case. But pours hold a really high premium. Doesn't matter what you're going with. Doesn't matter. You're paying a really good premium. I usually 2 or 3x it. That's usually about the weight of silver. That's how it's been going that I've seen. Now, I don't know a whole lot about pours. I've only watched pours, obviously, directly from sellers like me who start pours, but the value seems to be there through and through. So if I happen to be wrong there, somebody should let me know. What do you guys pay for your pours? I'd actually be interested to know that. And what's your favorite place to get pours? I know you can get them from a lot of different places, and honestly, probably depending on the prices, that helps you. But I'm just curious, what kind of pours do you guys have, and where do you guys like to get yours from? Uh, and then obviously, what's your prices? Am I right on the premium? Is it usually like, I don't know, is it usually about 2x on the amount of silver in there? Just 2x the value, basically. Um, I don't know. Let me know. But very cool, very fun. Can't beat playing with silver. So the next one up is very common, but something that we will go over in future episodes. I'll have an entire episode on Geiger. But this one is a very easy one to talk and understand the premium value. So first off, it's Geiger. So Geiger is a German company. They were started in like 12 or 1300. I don't know. They've been operating forever. They are one of the most trusted mints or refineries in the world. Absolute top quality. Now you guys can see here, I'm actually getting a little toning, or I'm wondering if you can see, I'm getting a little toning on each of my corners, and it's making it look beautiful. I'm excited about that. It's toning can be a good thing just as much as it can be a bad thing. But with this one still being in its essay, I'm okay. Now, what do I mean whenever I say an assay? An assay, one, goes back to the premium value. It's going to increase it. So an assay is basically just a certification letting you know that what you have is quality and it is exactly what you are assuming it to be when purchasing. So it being in this plastic case, having the weight, having the type, and then having the production underneath of it, just three folds verifies it. And then, as with in the first episode, whenever I had told everybody, Geiger always does this so you can verify. You put your little black light up, and then you can check the serial number, check their little code right there, and just to verify that this is indeed a Geiger. Now, Geigers do make everything from 1 grams to 5, 10, 20, 1 ounce, 50 grams, 100 grams, and then they go upwards. But in terms of assays, they've got quite a bit. All of those that I had just mentioned, plus they have a 25 single 1 gram assay. So 25 single 1 gram Geiger bars put into one assay. It's a beautiful, beautiful design, and it's the only thing that I don't have, but I hope to accomplish in purchasing one day. Love to add it to my collection. But going back to these Geigers, what is the premium value on these, and what can you expect to pay? Well, the premium on Geigers are high. Whenever I first started getting into silver, and even still today, it blows my mind to see what people pay for these, or really what they go for, because now I understand. We'll just stick with this 1 ounce. So this 1 ounce right here in the assay, I'm going to say right at around $50 is what you could expect to pay if you are if you're trying to just purchase it. 45 to $55. So I'm putting a 50 flat, I think, is a very fair price and something you could expect, because I mean, they're just not cheap. They hold their value over and over. The 1 grams I've seen go repeatedly for $8 a piece. And then the five, so obviously 5 grams upwards of 18 to 20 and so forth. So for these 1 grams, beautiful bars. Everybody should have a few of them in your collection, just because the value holds, and they are nice. I'm very excited to go over these whenever we get to them. Because I do have a good bit to talk about, and honestly, I'll probably even learn a little bit more just to discuss the history of Geiger. And I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like Geiger? Do you guys buy Geiger? Do you trust them? Are they too expensive for you for what they're offering, really? Because a lot of it is show, even though the quality is there. You're buying it for this case. You're buying it for this. You're buying it for that. You're buying it because of the piece itself, and not just the silver content. So what are your guys' thoughts? What do you consider this a good buy for premium silver? Do you like them? Let me know. So we're just moving right along here, and going right into this last piece. I'm very excited to show this one to you guys, so we can back this up just a bit. So this is, as you can read, the Incan House of the Sun. This is a coin that is minted by PAMP. Now, why does this have premium value? Well, the design, it's colorized. It's technically a game. It's 1.5 ounces. You could really just continue to go on. Before we open it up, let's look at the back to show you guys the details as we go here. So this is the best thing about this, is it's verifying everything for you. So this is a coin. In fact, it is a sovereign coin, so it can be it can be spent. That's just about it. Solomon Islands. It is worth $4 face value. Obviously, a whole lot more within its silver contents. With only 3,000 minted, that adds to the value. So that is adding the premium, or increasing the premium on it even more. And then I'm just noting this, but it is 4/9 fine silver as well. You can't get that. That is just top notch. So all around, year's 2022, so it's fairly new. 3,000 minted, 1.5 ounces of silver. This coin has just about everything it could going for it in terms of getting that increased value, that premium value for you. So going back to opening it up, what is this coin, and why is it so? Well, why is it? Well, first of all, it's a game. You can see that I have it finished, but we can get it out of here and we can go right back around. And yeah, it's just a game. We're just here to play it, and it starts out in the llama's mouth, and then you have to work your way around. Obviously, I've already beat it, and it's so hard that I'm not going to try to lose it again. So I'm going to put it back in the middle. But the queen, beautiful, beautiful, just sitting on there. So you guys can see it says Solomon Islands 2022, Elizabeth II with 4. This one is even numbered. They're numbered. This is 1774. So just right after halfway through the run, this one was minted. 1.5 ounces of silver, AG, 49's fine. Everything that is identified on the box is identified on this coin, and it is encapsulated. Now, what do these go for? What's the premium value of these? You understand that it's a premium piece, and I know you understand exactly what goes into it, but what's the value? Well, for me, I paid right at retail value. I do believe I paid somewhere around $70 at the time whenever I won it, or whenever I'd won it, because I did win it at an auction. But now it has went up. Reselling these. So if I was going to resell it, I would probably expect to get about $90. I think I could get $90 for this, and I think that if you yourself don't have one of these, you could go out. You may have to wait because some of them may be overpriced, but I think you could, from an independent seller, rebuy it for about $90, which in my opinion would be a great ad because it's one of my favorite pieces in the collection and it'll be fun to display one day. But new, if you're going from retail, you're probably looking about $110 to $120. So you're looking at a $20 to $30 increase, retail to resale, and then also it's just that's a big percentage chance. So for me personally, I wouldn't want to look at that. I wouldn't want to go anywhere over 100 just because I think that though I am cautious about eBay and bidding sites, I think you could probably win it on eBay for around $90, if not a little more. But it is a great premium piece, very beautiful, and as with all of them, just holds value for many reasons. But obviously, that one being the most because it is worth the most. Now we went through here, as you guys can see, we've went through a fair amount of different coins. Showed the premium pieces. Some of them only, these ones right here, only $2, $3, $4 uh, over spot price. So not much of a premium on these in terms of being resold. But buying them from the mint, obviously you got a high premium, double the price. These right here, a little bit more percentage wise, but nothing too crazy. Both your Asgard and your Eric the Blood Axe. Single series, pay right around $42. A nice premium of about $4, $5 on them is understandable. And then pours. Pours are iffy. I'd like to know everybody's opinions. I told you guys mine. It's about 2 to 3x the weight of silver. So if it's got 8 grams of silver, I'd expect to pay between $15 and $20. Sometimes if it's higher quality, I can expect to pay $25. It really just depends. And then Geigers are across the board. They are pretty steady. It doesn't really matter, especially if you have them in an assay. The value doesn't really decrease, and you can pretty much get what you're asking for if the buyer that you're talking is in fact a serious buyer and understands what they're buying, what they're getting for. So that was pretty much a quick rundown of premium silver. What it is, it's just added value. How's it added? Depends on the piece. Depends on who minted it, and a ton of other factors, but a lot of which you've just you've just seen. If I missed anything, let me know. If there's something, or if I'm wrong on the prices, obviously, like I said in the beginning, my prices are based off of the research that I've done in the past and the research that I hold on the value of my stuff. I could be off because it changes every single day, and this year alone, it's crazy. It's changed like crazy. But it's fun, and this has been a good. This episode's been a good introduction into a lot of what I have to offer with my pieces because a lot of my pieces hold a little bit more premium value. So we'll just keep going from here. I think next week we'll probably run over with some specific silver coins from each country. So we'll probably pick 5 countries and just go over some coins from each of them, and discuss the history of each and maybe where you can get them, or I don't know. Maybe if I think of any interesting fact with it, we'll deal with that bridge whenever I get there. But until then, I appreciate you guys being here, and I appreciate you watching me for a another episode of Stacking Solo. And I hope you guys have a great week. look forward to y'all hopefully watching this. Let me know what you think. Let me know how I did. And remember, stacking solo doesn't mean stacking alone. We'll catch you guys later.